This is Jean Kilbourne. She says that sexual violence against women is encouraged and it is normalized in our culture. And from the media, girls get the message that men who dominate them are sexy. I'm so happy to have someone like yourself speaking out against it, because I'm amazed that people do not see the connection.
I am too, but we all like to believe that we're not influenced by anything, and particularly not by media images.
Right.
But what they do, there's the clear link. The research is absolutely definite that there's a link between these images and between violence.
Jean Kilbourne, Killing Us Softly, is the #1 most important film, I think, that has changed the way that I look at objectification.
40 years ago, Killing Us Softly helped us to see that advertising wasn't just benign fluff. It helped us to recognize how demeaning and objectifying images of women really come to lay the groundwork for violence towards women.
Jean Kilbourne's work laid the groundwork for people to be aware and thoughtful about the visual communication of gender roles and imagery.
She was tearing out little pieces, all the ads from the magazines to show how sexist ads were that used women to promote a product. Jean changed my life with that understanding, and I think she did for thousands and thousands and thousands of people since then.
It is no exaggeration to say that Killing Us Softly changed my life.
Jean Kilbourne, you changed my life.
Killing Us Softly was there for us at a moment when multimedia experiences for girls were very scarce.
She has given us as men an opportunity to look at how we have been manipulated by an insidious advertising industry that seeks to divide men and women and people of all genders.
Her work has, from a very early age, turned me on to some perspectives about advertising and about our culture that have pretty much shaped my life, my art, and my thoughts around a lot of things.
Her exposure to the alcohol industry's lies, distortions, and manipulation in marketing in general, and then particularly in their marketing targeting women, was groundbreaking.
Jean's documentation of the ways in which women were exploited, and still are for that matter, in order to sell products, didn't sit well with many at the time. But it was the foundation of something that most consider critical now: media literacy.
Jean inspired a whole field of inquiry in gender representation and media literacy writ large.
You've made such a difference. I show your video, Killing Us Softly, in all of my classes.
It was such a joy to have something like that to teach with. I've seen its impact on students over the years.
Like many, I first saw Killing Us Softly in college. Jean's film and the class I was taking at the time were my introduction to feminist theory and media criticism.
I first screened the film when I was an undergraduate at Smith College, and that film screening really shaped who I have become both personally and professionally.
Your work has literally touched the lives of millions of people around the world.
Your work has exposed and served to dismantle the isolating and pervasive forces of objectification of girls and women all over the world.
Jean, your work has been an inspiration to me and to advocates all over the world as we work together to end the commercialization of childhood and adolescence.
The film has had a major impact on me, as has Jean Kilbourne herself. Meeting Jean, working with Jean, talking about the content of the film, its message, has really allowed me to communicate a more informed narrative here in Scotland around the need for us to look at media literacy as a key component when we're tackling issues of violence and abuse in our society.
Jean has continually taught me and challenged me and inspired me to make a difference in the world.
You're a tireless, fearless leader who paved the way for so many of us behind you.
One of the very first steps I took when forming Media Girls in 2014 was I got in my car and drove to Jean Kilbourne's house in Newton, and she will tell you the truth. And I asked for her blessing because she is the godmother of this work.
The work you have done on behalf of women in advertising, your work is central to so many of the things that 3% Movement has been doing.
Jean, you are such an inspiration. Killing Us Softly has helped me as a woman, a mother, a sociologist, and a professor.
It really hit home for me as a woman and as a young feminist, and it ultimately impacted my work for the past 30 years as an image consultant.
When I came to the Wellesley Center for Women, one of the reasons I was most proud to be here is because I knew that that was where Jean Kilbourne had done this work.
And one of the best compliments I've ever received is when people tell me that my work reminds them of Jean, and I don't know if I or anybody else could ever be worthy of that, but I know that I'm never going to stop trying to live up to that legacy.
Jean is one of the great cultural educators of the last 50 years.
I think of Jean in the same ranks as I think of Hillary Clinton and Madeleine Albright as thought leaders for the world around us and for women in the world around us.
As a feminist icon, as a mentor, as a friend, as the creator of Killing Us Softly, as the writer of so many important books, Can't Buy My Love, So Sexy So Soon, you really have made the world a better place, and you have made my life definitely better. I love you so much. Thank you for being you.